This is the Arthur Moats Show.
You are watching the Arthur Moats Show, which is recorded out of Total Sports Enterprises, Pittsburgh's exclusive supplier in signed memorabilia. And since it is draft week and the excitement is at an all-time high, I figured it's only right that I share my draft story. But before I do so, I have a special offer for you. If you use promo code MOATS45, you will receive 45% off of any signed Juju Smith-Schuster jersey. Remember that, MOATS45, 45% off of any signed Juju Smith-Schuster jersey. Now, back to my story. So my senior season is going on. Obviously, go to the NFL Combine, play in an all-star game, and I'm getting a lot of traction, right? I'm moving up draft boards, or at least I thought I was. I was being talked about by draft gurus such as Mel Kiper Jr., who at the time was one of my favorites because he was talking about how much of a steal I would be. He said I could go anywhere between the 3rd and the 5th round at worst. Remember that, 5th round at worst. So, me being who I am, I get excited about it. Me and the family are excited because, hey, I have a chance to live my dream. I get a chance to get my name called on draft day, so I'm extremely excited about it. So the draft starts. Round 1 goes by. Hey, no worries. We're not worried about round 1 because, hey, we're supposed to go at best 3rd round, at worst 5th round. 2nd round goes by. Okay, cool. No worries. We're not worried about it at all. Start of the 3rd round happens, and I get an email from the Kansas City Chiefs. And the scout was saying, hey, man, I just want to make sure that we got the correct phone number for you because you're still high on our board. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to Kansas City. Then that's how it's going to be. 3rd round goes by, no phone call. So now I'm like, all right, let's just check the phone, make sure we got a battery, make sure the signal's good, right? Because you have to make sure your signal's good. All those things were good. So I'm like, all right, cool. 4th round starts. The San Francisco 49ers are on the clock. And I'm like, They flew me out for a visit. It was nice. Coach Singletary, we hit it off. It was nice. He even called my high school coach, my mother, and my father to see what type of person I was and if I could play linebacker. So I'm like, hey, man, it's about to happen. The San Francisco 49ers were on the clock, and they select linebacker out of Penn State, Navarro Bowman. Now, at the time, I was like, oh, man, this is crazy. Hindsight being 2020, it was a great pick. So I'm like, all right, I can live with that. But this is where I completely lose my mind. The 5th round starts. No DNs, no linebackers is taken off the board. And who gets drafted? A punter. It was a punter. And it just hurt my heart that a punter was taken before me. I just couldn't believe it. And now punters are people. But I'm a baller. At least I thought I was. So it hurt my heart to see a punter get taken before me in this draft. So now I'm like, you know what? I don't even want to watch the draft anymore. I instantly went to worst case scenario. Football's over before I even got the opportunity to play. I'm never playing again. Like I said, I leave my family downstairs. I go upstairs to the room and I'm having my little, pity party. But it was cool because at least I did it with dignity. I went to the room so no one could see. So now 6th round started and I get a phone call. I'm like, okay, we got a little bit of action. Who could this be? And it's the New York Giants. And they're like, hey, man, we're picking later this round, and we're going to select you. And I was like, man, I'm going to New York City, baby. The big city, the bright lights. I was so excited. So I leave out the room. I'm about to go downstairs because I got to tell the family, right? Before I get to the stairs, I get another phone call. Who is it? The Atlanta Falcons. And they're like, hey, we don't pick this round, but we're going to trade back in to come and get you. And now I'm like, okay. I'm really excited. So now I start out with the cool walk down the stairs. Now I'm in a full sprint. The whole time, the Buffalo Bills are actually on the clock and they're trying to get in contact with me, but they can't because I've been on the phone. So they call my mother up and my mother's downstairs getting the call and they're all excited looking for me. I'm running down to tell them that, hey, I'm about to get picked by the Giants or the Falcons. And they're like, dude, the Bills are picking you right now. So I literally hang up the phone on the Falcons. I grab the phone from my mom and who is it? Buddy Nix, general manager at the time of the Buffalo Bills. He's telling me, man, you're going to be a Buffalo Bill. Welcome to the family. I remember walking to the TV screen, seeing my name get called, and it was one of the best feelings I ever experienced. And honestly, one of the best days of my life. And for that, man, I always am very grateful and very appreciative of the Buffalo Bills organization. And they always hold a special place in my heart because they gave me that opportunity to live out my dream. They gave me the opportunity to have that sense of fulfillment after all the years of hard work and sacrifice to finally hear your name called. It was just a special feeling. And when you just think about the draft in general, the uncertainty of you not knowing when you're going to go or if you're going to go, the different rounds of the location you might get drafted to, I feel like when you do finally get that call, if you're fortunate enough, it makes it that much sweeter. And I think that's why, for me, I always enjoy thinking about my draft story. But now, it's time for me to hop into my mailbag. So, the first question in Moats' mailbag comes from Dim_Steelers. And how fitting, he asked me about the differences between my time with the Buffalo Bills versus my time with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And honestly, man, I loved both organizations. I felt like they both helped me develop in certain aspects of my life. Obviously, when I was in Buffalo, that's when I first got out of college. So up there, I understood how to become a professional. I was blessed to have some really good veterans that helped me understand the importance of working, the importance of not just treating it as something that I'm playing, but this is a job. So just understanding how to have a solid foundation in my career. And then obviously the Bills Mafia up there, the fan base was insane. So that was always a blast. But then coming to Pittsburgh, man, it just took it to a whole nother level because not only you're doing something you love with legendary guys. I mean, I had a chance to be in the locker room with Troy Polamalu. Like, that was just crazy for me because I remember watching him for the longest. Or even James Harrison, a guy that I would study early on in my career. So being able to be around those guys, but then on top of that, playing in the primetime games. I mean, we would have 6, 7 primetime games in a season. Then you're talking major playoff games, winning division championships. The stakes are always high. The media, I mean, and then obviously Steeler Nation. I mean, it's Steeler Nation. Steeler Nation. So, I mean, when I think about all those names, man, I love both I love both organizations, but I would just say the stakes were always a lot higher in Pittsburgh just because of the games you were in. But now, going to the next question out of Moats' mailbag is my main man, Chris. And he asked me, are the Steelers taking a corner or a linebacker in round 1? All right. The answer to that is this. If the Steelers stay at 20, I don't think they take either. I think they go to wide receiver personally because the linebacker that I can really see them going after, I don't think he's going to make it to 20. And if that's the case, then I think the receiver is a much bigger need than the cornerback position. Now, with them having 10 draft picks, that's a lot of draft capital. So I could easily see them moving up in the draft. And if they do move up, I see them going to get the linebacker out of Michigan, Devin Bush. Next question out of Moats' mailbag comes from family right here. My lady Robin out in Johnstown, PA. And she asked me to just talk about sports, community events, and charities that I'm passionate about. Now, when it comes to sports, I'm a big sports fanatic. I love football, baseball, basketball, hockey, soccer, wrestling, swimming, lacrosse. It really doesn't matter. Bowling. I'm into all of it. Fencing. Like, I love sports, man. It's just something that I've always been passionate about. I love seeing people compete, and I love to compete. So sports is always going to be number one. But then from community events, the reason why I love doing so much work in the community, I just love being able to have a positive impact on people. I love being able to make a difference in someone's life. I love being able to inspire people. So that's why I'm always, excited about getting in the community and doing community events. And when we talk charities, I mean, there's a ton of charities that I work with, a ton of charities that I love. Obviously, the Ronald McDonald House charities here in Pittsburgh, I'm a board member of. But Cuddles for Kids, man, that is an awesome charity. And the founder, Mr. Connor, he's an awesome young man too. And I feel like, man, he's doing a lot of good things. So those are the two charities that when I first think of for me right now, they come off the top of my head. Now, last, but certainly not least, question comes from my main man, Corrales. I think I said his name right, Corrales Dupree, and he plays for the Edinburgh University wheelchair basketball team. And funny story, so he asked me to talk about my adaptive sports experience when me and some of my Pittsburgh Steelers teammates came and played against his wheelchair basketball team using the wheelchair basketball rules. Now, I will say this, it was a crazy experience because obviously as a professional athlete, you take you being able to run and jump for granted sometimes. But when you put us in a wheelchair, it changed the whole dynamic. And I'm not going to say that, we weren't successful or that we got blew out by a lot of points to a little bit. I'm not going to go that far. But I would like a rematch if that's okay with you guys. So whenever y'all want to schedule it, just let us know. But man, shout out to you guys over there, man, over at Edinboro University. Your basketball team is phenomenal. And like I said, man, you're a cool dude as well. So that's it for today's show. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, peace.